人はいつかそれに名をつけた
Zhevitz Enterprise boardroom. Rito Zhevitz awoke after a rare and impromptu nap, induced from reading the mountain of mundane paperwork strewn across the table. His expression appeared ghastly, as if he had awoken from a terrible dream. Rito briefly chapped his forehead to dispel the grogginess, irritated and perturbed by his unpleasant daydream. Why, he wondered in silence, must I be haunted by those memories once more? Sarah. It's all because of Sarah. Her actions have caused me to subconsciously recall the horrors I witnessed during my childhood. Why I must relive the blood and those screams once more? I recall the deep resentment I harbored toward my father. I remember the compassion I felt for my mother. Oh, I think it's move on to the Rudo's narrators now instead of Ratana's narrator. So, we're on Rudo's narrator. And when they passed, they took any chance of my reconciliation with them and left me with the parting gift of regret. 12 years. 12 years ago. Everything felt like a bad dream I wanted so badly to awaken from. Oh, it's a flashback. When I was a boy, I never knew any child my age to be more cruel, more twisted than my sister. Ruin Zhevitz was infamous for harboring an unbridled disregard for authority of any kind. She was unrestrained, uncontrollable, and downright demented. Everyone knew that there was no disciplining her, because Ruin thrived on making everyone miserable. In fact, she derived pleasure from the antagonism directed towards her, and every time someone gave her a dirty look, Ruin would smile her psychotic little head off. Oh shit. But what she loved to do the most, in order to make the biggest impact possible, was inflict physical harm unto others. Why was she the source of everyone's misery? Why did she enjoy being the outcast? Whatever the reason, the result would always leave her with a profound sense of accomplishment. To me, Ruin Zhevitz was nothing short of a monster. This is a flashback, I would say. I remember there was one day I saw Ruin in the grand hall of our residence and noticed that her right eye was swollen shut. Ooh. Concerned about Ruin's swollen eye, our frail, yet devoted mother felt compelled to take her to a clinic near the outskirts of Kadia to have it treated, aggravating the existing strain on her fragile body. Ruin, mother's waiting for you. Let's go already.
No.
I'll give you my share of pudding tonight, so could you please be good and listen to me? Just for today.
I don't like pudding. Go away.
Doesn't your eye hurt, Ruin? If you don't get it treated now, you might go blind in one eye. Do you want to see out of only one eye?
I don't care. I think I actually want to go blind in one eye.
What's the matter with you, Ruin? Blindness is... Ruin! Rudo! Are you both ready now? Ruin, Mom's actually feeling healthy enough to get out of bed today. Please, just be good for her.
You know what, Rudo? I don't give a damn. And you know what else? I hope Mommy dies. I hope Daddy dies too. I hope that stupid clinic burns to the ground.
Wow.
But most of all, I hope you die, Rudo.
Damn, what the hell? What's going on with this childhood for Ruin?
I hope everyone in the world just keels over.
You don't mean that. Don't say anything that you don't really mean. It's depressing. In reality, I didn't find half of what she said too depressing. I hope you die, Rudo. We're moving on to Ruin's narrator or something? I couldn't keep track of how many times she said that to me. Ruin never really cared much about anything unless it served some purpose to satiate her twisted persona. For example, Ruin had a fairly limited vocabulary, but she knew more words associated with morbid topics. Ruin, I don't care if you say those nasty things to me, but please don't ever utter those words in front of our mother. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. In hindsight, I should have known that my pleas would have the opposite effect on my wicked sister. If only I had known that she was a simpleton, I could have worked wonders on Ruin with reverse psychology. If I had encouraged her, in a roundabout way, to do something that appealed her evil ego, she would have listened to me. Whether she would have taken my encouragement seriously is now a redundant matter, but I suspect that she would have taken abnormal delight in the idea. I could never properly communicate with Ruin, not with words at least. Her brand of communication was always performed through physical contact.
Ruin, you haven't changed yet. Hurry and get changed.
I'm sorry, Mother. I tried to tell her, but Ruin's being very stubborn.
Don't be sorry, Rudo. You only did what you thought was right. Come on, sweetie. Let's go see the doctor and see what he can do about your swollen eye. No. Ruin, your eye won't get any better if we don't go now. It shouldn't take too long either. Doctors are a lot better now than they used to be. At least when I was a girl. No.
Our mother's word was always final, and whenever Ruin realized that she couldn't bring our mother down to her level.
I don't want to go!
Damn. Ruin would take all civility out of the conversation, reset to the mentality of a toddler, and whine away. It was a painful sight to see, every single time. Her ear-splitting shrieks would reverberate without end until her vocal cords were worn to the point of exhaustion.
Gah! Please, Ruin, be a good girl and listen to Mommy! If you're a good girl, Mommy will take you to the ice cream parlor in the Central District after your appointment at the clinic. I don't wanna go!
Wow. She seems to be different. No matter how hard my mother tried to reason with her, Ruin just wouldn't listen. Ultimately, we had to drag her onto the carriage, kicking and screaming all the way to the clinic. 30 minutes passed, and Ruin finally stopped subjecting her vocal cords to her endless shrieks. But her tantrum was far from over. During the entirety of her examination, Ruin continually lunged and snapped at her attending physician. The unfortunate physician endured Ruin's behavior in silence far better than the most people would, but I could tell by the look in his eyes that he had had enough of her nonsense. If he weren't a Zhevitz employee, I'm certain that he would have thrown us out as soon as he concluded Ruin's examination. He dressed her swollen eye with a white eye patch and said nothing else. Wasn't she female or something? We stopped by the Central District, just as my mother said that we would, and Ruin sprinted off into the distance.
Goodness, whatever I am going to do with Ruin? Mother, I'll go try and calm her down. If I can get her to calm down, she might tell us what's bothering her. I'm sure she will. I suppose I still have a thing or two that I can learn from my own children. I'm surprised you can keep up with her, Rudo. I don't know what I'd do with Ruin if you weren't there watching out for her, Rudo. I can't keep up with that bundle of energy. Not anymore. I'm sure she has a good reason. I wanted so badly to believe that there was a method to hurt madness. Maybe when Ruin grows up a little, she'll start to calm down even more? To this day, I still cannot fathom how I would have the misfortune of being the model, sibling to that wild child. This is just a phase. We just have to tough it out. Once Ruin grows older, she has to come to her senses. She has to. But until then, I'll keep an eye on her. Don't worry about her, Mother. Mommy? Ruin returned to the carriage with a thick branch in hand. Ruin, put that stick down now. You could hurt yourself or someone else. Can I? Can I really hurt someone else? Whee! Ruin thrust the stick into the pavement and ran in circles around a carriage before taking off once more, kicking up dirt and dust in the process. Goodness gracious! We can't let her run free with that. It's dangerous. I'll go, Mother. You stay here and rest, and I'll go after her. No, I'm coming with you. For once in my life, I need to do the hard deed of scolding my child. If only that could have prevented what came next. Grrrr! It took me some time before I realized. What that sound really was. It was an adolescent boy who let out a wholeheartedly justified, blood-curdling scream. Kevin, What did that come from? I found a boy being pinned to the ground, with the hand of his assailant clenched tight around his collar. Whoa! Holy shit. She's like yonder. She's like a serial killer of a childhood. The assailant was my psychotic little sister, who appeared to be overcome with euphoria as she stabbed the sharp end of the stick into her victim's face several times. Damn! What? The ground was stained with the boy's blood. The impact of the unbelievable scenes forced my mind into shock. With each and every downward thrust Ruin took with the stick, the area around him became more saturated with blood. Who looks funny now, huh? The child wasn't even flinching as the branch carved into his skull. He was clearly unconscious. Run! That's not the answer I wanted to hear. Fuck, man. Jesus. Ruin's voice, rendered into raspy, ear-splitting trails after screaming her head off, didn't resemble that of a young girl's. Die! 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 It sounded like that of a monster's. Jeez, my god. The only thing I could recall after hearing her twisted tune was my body lurching forward. When I came to, my clothes were drenched and dyed with various shades of crimson blood. Just by the evidence at the time, I could conclude that I separated Ruin from her victim. But how I managed to do that remains unclear even to this day. The boy was immediately taken to one of our branch hospitals for emergency care. Oh my god. The boy's name, Marcus Crowleys, age 8. The team of surgeons worked for hours stabilizing Marcus, removing hundreds of splinters from his face and disinfecting his left eye socket. Oh. They were able to save his life, but they couldn't save his left eye. Oh no, that's terrible. What's worse, one of Ruin's thrusts into his left eye socket impacted the sphenoid bone near his left temple. This would end up being the cause of permanent damage to his body's purified mana production and regulation. Ruin's rampage led Marcus to suffer recurring cluster headaches for the remainder of his life. And he'll learn that, if he ever wakes up again. Ruin blamed Marcus for what happened, asserting that he started it
with an offhanded comment. "You look funny." Ruin was 6-year-old when she made her first attempt at committing murder. 6-year-old? 6 years old? Seriously? The surgeons who performed on Marcus were mystified by a number of details of the incident, more so than outraged. Even though Marcus was much bigger than Ruin, she easily overtook him. Marcus' eye proved resilient by withstanding numerous sharp stabs from Ruin's stick. They came to a collective conclusion that the nature of the incident was highly peculiar. Apparently, the thought of a younger child, a girl no less, overpowering an older boy and inflicting severe injuries onto him, with only a stick in hand, was seen as highly unusual. In order to perform such a feat, there had to have been an element of surprise. "What a terrible and unfortunate accident," the doctors all said. No. There was no way this was some sort of freak accident. This wasn't just some incident where a small girl lashed out in anger. Ruin must have had clear intentions of destruction. This little incident was just an excuse to exercise that malicious intent. Afterwards, my mother, who had barely been able to contain her emotions, did the difficult deed, and gave Ruin the scolding of her life. This was the first scolding Ruin had ever received from our mother. She cried her eyes out while apologizing to everyone in the room. Oh wow, she's blaming her. I probably think what she did. The peacekeepers of Kadia issued my parents an edict of Ruin's punishment for attempted murder, indefinite residential confinement, essentially house arrest. For a short period of time, Ruin didn't speak a single word, not to herself, not to anyone. For my parents, however, the matter of liability for their daughter's crime fell unto them. We were open to do everything in our power to make things right for the son of the Crowley's family, starting with complimentary coverage for Marcus at our largest hospital, where he received the best and most advanced treatments that were available. The momentary value of every treatment he underwent was of little concern. We waived everything. We even extended Marcus' care to cover his education, which also went towards supporting his whole family who were experiencing financial straits. We looked past the astronomical loss of gallows to a single family just to right the wrongs of deranged little Ruin. In fact, when we extended our generous offer to the Crowley's family, the mother wanted nothing from us, not even momentary aid from my parents. But it wasn't long until her declination of our offer caused internal strife within his family. His wife, discontent with her husband's greed for desiring our offer, divorced him and departed Kadia, citing irreconcilable idiocy. A day passed since the incident, which soon turned into a week, a month, a year, and yet time ceased to salvage the broken Crowley's family. On the other hand, my family's long conglomerate chain continued to grow and flourish, one link at a time. The damage that Ruin had done to our family and the company left a stigma, but the ruins of her wayward actions dissipated with time. Contrary to my personal belief at the time, Ruin had managed to reach the conclusion that hurting people was bad. Something inside her head clicked, compelling her to broaden her vocabulary from her personal compendium of pain and death. It's almost as if she underwent some sort of metamorphosis from the time she spent under house arrest, entering her chrysalis of silence and emerging as a normal human. No longer was Ruin the anthropic menace that I had always known her to be, but was a normal child with non-violent tendency towards other people. Obviously, given my history with her to date, I had doubts about what I saw and heard with my own eyes. In fact, I had nothing but doubts concerning the fantastic idea of Ruin's evolution from a little monster into the little sister that I never had. But as time passed, I came to accept that Ruin truly had changed. 5 years had passed since Ruin blinded poor Marcus Crowley's, and not a day goes by that I don't think about what would happen if I hadn't stopped her then. That was a pretty sad story. Oh, there's that child Rudo.
Mother, where's father? He should be home soon. You should tidy yourself up before he returns.
It's not every day that we can all go out to eat dinner as a family. There was a distinctly melodic quality about my mother's usually gentle voice.
Mother, it's only Ivo's Tavern.
I don't think people there will care if there are a few creases on my dress shirt or not.
Now, who said it was okay for you to dress sloppy when you're out and about on the town, especially in the eye of the public? I certainly didn't, so go tidy up. Ruin, are you all dressed yet? Yes, Mother. My goodness, brother, your dress shirt has so many creases on it. You should wear something with wrinkle-free fabric.
Yes, Mother and I were just speaking about that.
For shame, brother. Would you like me to help you?
Help me what exactly?
Why? Help you with picking out a wrinkle-free dress shirt.
That won't be necessary.
Haha, that's so adorable. Rudo, why don't you let Ruin help pick something out for you? Come on, brother. Let's go to your room.
I have a better idea. You stay here, and I'll go pick out my own wrinkle-free shirt. Father will be home soon, and having you go through my closet will only delay our departure. Well, if it ain't my two favorite runs. Daddy's home, kids.
Welcome home, Father. Hello, Father. Welcome home.
Why, hello to you too, Rudo and Ruin. Why are you dressed so nice, Ruin?
Why, Father, that's because we're going out tonight.
It's a special occasion. Mother did say that we were having dinner as a family. Special schmecko. Schmecko, I guess? We're just going out to eat? And to a tavern, no less. I tried arguing that point as well, but...
Sid, where's your necktie?
Honey, well, I, took it off because I just got home. Of course, it's no big deal.
You are the CEO of Zhevitz Enterprise, darling. If you go out looking like a slob, people will treat you like a slob. That goes for business meetings too. Now hurry up and put your necktie back on, and let's get going to Ivor's Tavern. We are going to have a nice family dinner, and we will not be coming back until later tonight.
Wow, crazy mother. Mother lectured our father for his perceived slobbishness as she stormed up the stairs to the second floor. I know it's been a while since I've been home, kids, but I forget how feisty your mother could be.
Maybe it's because it has been a while since you last came home.
Could be. And that's the same Ivor's Tavern we got there in a long time. Chapter 2? Yeah. We got an important announcement to make.
Goodness gracious, I cannot remember the last time you both looked so happy together.
That's funny you should say that, daughter of mine. We just signed your life away.
You signed my life away?
You bet we did. And golly, you're gonna love being a slave to society. Ouch!
Stop trying to scare our daughter, darling.
Yowie, yowie, owie. Stop scaring me, cheekies.
Ruin, you've been enrolled into Kadia's Academy for the Gifted. You're going to be going to school starting next week.
She got in? That's amazing. Congratulations, Ruin.
You mean it, Mother? Father?
We swear it. We cross our hearts and hope to die.
You can even stick needles in our eyes. Please don't ever use that idiom again, Mother. I can go to school starting next week? With other children my age? You really impressed the administrators at your meeting with them last week. The principal says that you'd be a great candidate for their prestigious academy. I don't know what to say. I can really go to school then. This is a dream come true. I'm so happy for you, Ruin. I hope you make lots and lots of friends there.
Zhevitz!
Ooh, hurts one. He doesn't seem to be a bit changed.
Zhevitz, you son of a bitch! How's your hanging?
Hurtsy, you old bastard. Why don't you give a guy a heads up, huh?
I could say the same to you, too, ya senile old coot. What ya doing eating dinner without an ounce of ale to wash it all down? Let's head to the bar, Sid.
Hold it, Hurtsy. Now, you know how I feel about Sid and ale. He's a featherweight. He can't hold an ounce of ale. You know that.
He's gotta build up a tolerance somehow, right? Like he built up all the muscles in his big brain o' his. Besides, I haven't seen his ugly mug for a good while. Oh, who might these tykes be?
Good evening. Good evening, Uncle Hurtswan.
If I remember right, it's Rudo and... Ruin. I don't believe me eyes, Sid. They're even bigger than the last time I saw him. Time sure does wonders to youngsters. Rudo, come over here for a second. Don't be shy.
Yes?
For the love of mana, Sid. Ya boy's sprouting like a tree. Whatever the boy's eating, it's all going to his height. He'll be taller than you soon.
Alright already, Hurtsy. Don't get my son caught up in our antics now. Okay now, so it's the same rules as usual, right? Hey, look over there. Hurtswan's gonna play a Wii game o' Speed Ale with Zhevitz CEO. You're out of your mind, sonny. The CEO of Zhevitz Enterprise wouldn't grace Ivor's bosom. She's too filthy from our affections to court the likes o' the rich. I implore ye to take a good gander over there, then, ye blind bastard. Oh, for the love of old mana, it really is him. Bless Ivor's bosom. I'll have you boys know that I am not above coming to Ivor's tavern. Every day's a good day when you eat at Ivor's. I might be filthy rich, but I'm as filthy as the rest o' ye. I'm gonna be the king of Ivor's tonight. Sorry. Get your guts ready, Hurtsy. Your throne's gonna be mine after tonight. Hear, hear, hail to the future king of Ivor's. Here we go again. We couldn't just for once have a nice and normal meal as a family. No.
Don't fret your heart out too much, Eileen. I'll send Sid back soon. I haven't seen this beautiful bastard's mug in a long time. Sweet Ellie, won't you please let us enjoy our youth for old time's sake?
Well, I suppose so. But you better down that ale faster than Hurtsy does, Sid. I don't care how smashed you get either. Make Hurtsy regret interrupting our dinner. Mother!
You got it, honey. Don't forget to work the crowd. Get 'em on our side.
Hear me, patrons of Ivor's. If my husband can beat Hurtswan Crowleys in a game of speed ale, we're buying a round of ale for everyone here. Almighty nectar of Ivor, you heard the lady, gents. Stop Hurtsy from drinking that ale.
That's not fair. I can barely afford me old drink, Ellie. Rigged, I say. The game is rigged. Give me back that ale.
Much to my own surprise, you seem to be enjoying yourself, Mother. Phew. Mother, is something wrong? It's nothing, Rudo. I just can't help but feel some relief. Time really does wonders. With time, we learn to forgive and forget all the pain we caused each other. Time gives us a second chance to move past the mistakes that we made and move on with our lives. To be honest with you both, I was relieved that Hertzwan came to us tonight. There was a good time when I thought that we lost Hertzwan as our good friend. Mother, I apologize for my actions. No matter how young I was, there is no excuse for bringing shame and disgrace to our family name. If it was not for my actions, there might never have been any issues with the Crowley's family. You don't have to apologize, Ruin. It's all in the past now. The only things I cared about are you two. I only want the best for you two, and your happiness means the world to me. Mother, you two will understand one day. When you both are grown up, leading your father's company with your own families, you will know why I feel how I do. But you both need to first accumulate, absorb, and retain everything you learn. And most importantly, keep your eyes on the prize. Do you understand me? Yes, Mother.
Wait a minute, little Ruin. You're going off to Kadios Academy for the gifted? Good for ya! I never went to no fancy schmancy school like that, and I turned out just fine. Them ministers didn't want me no how, and I didn't need 'em anyways. I hear ya, Hertzie. Did you hear that, Ruin? Neither Uncle Hertzwan nor myself went to school, and we both turned out just fine.
Don't listen to your father. He's just had too much to drink. Right, darling?
Yowie, yowie, owie. Stop skewing me, cheekies. I was just joking.
Listen, Ruin. Your father, Uncle Albus, and Uncle Hertzwan all didn't go to school to get a formal education. But against all odds, they all became huge successes in their own way. Not everyone can do that, though. Even though your father may started acting strange when the subject of education brought up, he's an advocate for compulsory education. Why, before your father made his fortune dabbling in mana mines, education was always reserved for Kadia's most privileged families. But that all changed years ago after your father persuaded the Kadian government to create a compulsory education system for the entire Outer Pole. Compulsory education? Is the education that all children are required to receive, no matter their social status. It's a way of empowering the future generation. Really. Empowering the future generation. That's right, Rudo. Don't you two ever forget this either. The people of the Outer Pole here cannot use Monocraft Day to survive. Unlike other places out in the world, education is the only pathway we have towards survival. That's why you both need to immerse yourselves in education, study hard, and flourish in order to survive.
What nonsense are you spouting, Ellie? We're surviving without the stinking education just fine.
Hertzie?
A person's worth ain't determined by the things they learn in some dusty old school. It's determined by their life's experience and how much they've grown as a person.
Hell yeah, Hertzie. For your drunken slob, you have some good things to say. Goodness gracious, the both of you drunkards. Stop trying to poison the minds of my dear children with your rogue ways. Ruin, no matter what they say tonight, you're still starting at the academy next week. Understood, mother, dearest. Ha. Ha ha.
That was a bit of awkward.
Yowie, yowie, owie. Sid. Oh, you brought Rudo with you. Hello, Uncle Albus.
Sorry, Albus, but I forgot to grab some papers on the way out earlier.
No, by all means. Actually, You came at the perfect time. Rudo, could you excuse us both for a little while? Your father and I need to discuss something. Huh? Okay.
Did you need something to kill time with, son?
No. I had something I wanted to finish up earlier, so...
Gotcha. I'll be back shortly, father. Albus, what's going on? What's with that headmaster's mug you're wearing, huh?
At least I'm not the one who looks like they had one too many drinks. Did you get smashed yesterday evening?
You bet I did. I had some fun with Hertzie and the family at Ivor's last night. Remembering how I told you that Ruin was accepted into Kadia's academy for the gifted, I figure she could be safe to be around other kids by now, right? It's been 5 years already.
I assume you broke the news to her then.
Nothing gets past you, Albus. I never see her so bright and bubbly before. There was so much light in her eyes. In everyone's eyes, in fact. You should have been there, Albus.
There was a life, was there?
Okay, Albie. Now you're ruining my mood with that grim mug you're making in the cryptic crowd. What's going on?
We have an issue on our hands, Sid. Here is the most recent cross-section image of Ruin's cerebral cortex from the modern Renaissance imaging MRI. Take a good look at it. It's divided into parts which correspond to specific emotions within the brain. I want you to focus your attention on the areas that pertain to emotions, such as happiness, anger, sadness, shock.
This image wasn't mucked up during the scan, was it?
Unfortunately, it was not. I was quite shocked myself. But this is the reality of the situation, Sid. What this image captured are Ruin's depth, range, and variety of emotions.
You lost me this time, Albie, because I don't see anything you just described in this image. I see no depth, no range, no variety, nothing. This is just a default template for all MRIs, right? Did you not trigger the machine when you scanned it?
Sid, try and compose yourself. I'll get to the point. Your daughter's range of emotions is non-existent.
Huh?
Unlike you, your son, and myself, Ruin's brain lacks a part of the limbic system that is essential for the regulation of emotions. It's a rare congenital disorder that she's always had, but that we only recently discovered.
Albus, that's just not possible.
Sid, she was laughing, smiling, and everything. I watched her sulk about the house when Rudo didn't play with her one day. Are you trying to tell me that all those emotions were fictive? I cannot say, Sid. Without evidence of emotional expression, my theory, unfortunately, still stands. It's just one image. It will never be enough to convince me that my daughter is devoid of all emotion. The evidence stands, Sid. I wouldn't have brought it to your attention unless I believed that it was something that you needed to know.
And what did I need to know, Albus? That Ruin's a living doll. Do I need to start doubting if my own daughter is even human?
Sid,
isn't that what you're arguing? Just because she's devoid of emotions doesn't make her any less of a human?
It's our heart that makes us who we are. Think for 1 second and just get a hold of yourself, Sid.
No, Albus. Not my daughter. Not Ruin.
There's gotta be some mistake. The MRI isn't entirely reliable yet. You can't just base your whole assertion for doubting my daughter's humanity on a prototype. It is your invention, Sid, and the margin of error for your invention is non-existent. You're personally calibrated to show anything and everything. There is no room for error. Out of all the inventions that help in the advancement of the medical field, your MRI has given birth to the most successful treatments known to the outer pole.
I'm not listening to you, Albus. My daughter has emotions. Damn it all!
This is all just one horrible mistake. Even the incident with the Crowleys 5 years ago. It's not Ruin's fault. Ruin has no emotions? Rudo!
Oh, wow. He must have heard everything. That's kind of awkward. Months passed after Albus's revelation to my father. Contrary to our then common fear, Ruin had managed to mix and mingle without any issue at Cadius Academy for the Gifted. Albus's assertions bore no fruit as time passed and our lives went by without any incident. As time passed, even the unfortunate incident with Marcus Crowley's 5 years prior faded from the memory of the public. Ruin spent 5 years under house arrest and was primarily homeschooled until my parents appealed. Ultimately, Ruin's lack of exposure to the public had effectively erased the existence of Zhevitz's only daughter. The Academy informed us of Ruin's progress, and that her well-mannered demeanor helped make her approachable to students. She made many friends there. Ruin also had little issue learning all the material offered at the Academy. Clearly, the professional teacher that father hired during her 5 years of confinement had paid off. And with all this news in mind, Albus's diagnosis of Ruin's lack of emotions became a moot point, and life went on. But one day, life decided to cease its relentless advance to remind me of the truth. I recall that I was returning home from another day at Cadius Academy for the Gifted when I decided to stop by a park that wasn't frequented often by most people. I thought I'd take a stroll through the thickets and bushes to unwind a little, but after clearing the first few rows of thickets, I saw that Ruin was there too. I crept near to her, wondering what she was doing in the park all alone when there was practically nobody else around. I was wrong. Ruin! As I crept closer, nature's tranquility was suddenly shattered from the deafening cry of an animal. I hadn't the faintest idea what animal made such an agonizing sound, but I could tell something was wrong when no other sound followed. Ruin! Oh crap again. No! Please, no! I rose from the underbrush and strode towards the young tree that Ruin sat under. Oh my god. Did she just kill that cat? Ruin!
Hello, brother. What brings you so far out here? Were you looking for me? It is quite ill-mannered of you to sneak up on me unannounced. What are you doing, Ruin? What are those scissors for? And why are they staying ruby red? Well, obviously, it's because there's blood on them. As for what I'm doing out here, brother, well, that's really none of your concern. Or are you just being nosy for no reason, Rudo? The tone of her voice suddenly deepened. I'm going to ask you again, Ruin. What are you doing here? And what did you do to that animal? No. I don't believe it. Ruin? I almost forgot how clever she could be. All those horrible things she did 5 years ago, and nobody even noticed a thing until she stabbed him in the eye. It's all been an act. What is wrong with you? Wrong? Nothing is wrong with me, Rudo. Unless you consider the fact that I am devoid of all emotion. Then you could just consider me inhuman. She knew? That theory was only known between Father, Albus, and myself. So how did she find out? When did she find out? You don't have to thank me, Rudo. It's the least I could do now that you can know about my extracurricular activity. Allow me to elaborate how I came to this conclusion, my dear oblivious big brother. Nothing evokes any emotion for me. I feel nothing for any of you, and I feel much like a blank canvas every waking moment of my life, until I personally brushed it with the paint of the living, stained it with the purest blood of the heart, and capture the very essence of sweet, euphoric death. Do you understand, Rudo? All the pleasant memories I've been experienced with our family mean absolutely nothing to me. Natural or not, observing death's work is the only pleasure that I derive from life.
If I had only known that day.
Oh, Rudo, if you only understood the beauty behind the sweet sound of a death rattle and the spastic contractions of rigor mortis. If only you knew how fulfilled they make me feel.
That through her macabre musings, the gaze in her eyes would be a harbinger of future misfortunes.
So much life endures, and yet, our life is just so fragile and easy to end.
I came to the conclusion that anything had to be done about ruin. Damn, girl. I spoke to my parents about my findings, but they ignored me, seeking to be oblivious to the danger that was their daughter. I needed the concrete evidence that the past 6 years were all a sham, an illusion that ruin created to lull my parents into a false sense of security, but it was vain.
Rudo, how could you say that about your own sister? I don't know what happened between you two today, but please try and get along with her. You're her only brother in the whole world.
My mother appealed to my diminishing attachment to my murderous little sister. I was living with paranoia every waking moment of my life. I wasn't wrong to suspect ruin after the eye-gouging incident. Now, I couldn't take my eyes off her for even a moment. Unlike poor Marcus Crowley's, which in hindsight was a completely unforeseen and spur-of-the-moment incident, ruin has matured by 6 dangerous years. I needed to counter her with whatever I could. I convinced myself that she was scheming something with every fiber of her being. I wasn't living for myself anymore. I was living to prevent ruin from committing murder. For a while, I observed and watched each and every one of her actions, following her daily itinerary to a T. I even ventured to ask the local peacekeepers for reports of any peculiar incidences, particularly ones involving dead animals. What they revealed left me flabbergasted. Dead animals? That ain't news to our ears anymore, son. It was something that had been happening over the past few years. Numerous reports regarding the discovery of grisly animal remains. The sites of discovery always featured dismembered limbs, tails, heads, the whole 9 yards. The peacekeepers didn't have a suspect, but they knew that only a person could have done the deed. They could never catch anyone in the act. The reports only continued to increase. I was instructed to report anything out of place or unusual. I was at a loss as to what to do. Should I confess that my sister was behind it all? Right now, in the spur of the moment? Without a single shred of evidence to support my allegations, my claims held no water without any physical evidence or third-party corroboration. Even if I had anything to work with, the thought of my mother's tear-streaked face made me hesitant to press the matter with the peacekeepers. I had to stop my sister before her murder spree of animals escalated to include humans. I didn't want our mother to suffer any more pain because of my twisted sister's actions. From that day onward, I became the deterrent to ruin's devotion to death. Okay. My eyes never failed to track her movements. Wherever she went, whatever she did, my eyes would always follow.
I've noticed you've been paying extra special attention to me recently, brother. What a shame.
Every breath she took, every word she uttered, everything she did only served to fuel my suspicions. From the day since she blinded Marcus Crowley's, Ruin had been diligently working to earn back the trust of the people who cared about her, even going as far as developing facade for the sake of appearing reformed. How blind we all were.
Brother, I think it's time I conclude this little game of ours.
Blinded by our desire to love Ruin. Several weeks later, my mother had a medical emergency. Uh-oh. She had drunk tea, which was laced with traces of a drug called Process 1, or P1 for short, which has powerful mana immunity boosting properties. However, there was a concentrated amount that was found in the tea, enough to kill a grown adult. Miraculously though, my mother's natural purified mana immunity had somehow forced her to regurgitate her drink. She soon collapsed afterwards, but the drug never made it beyond her esophagus. Given the suspicious nature of my mother's poisoning, the peacekeepers were obliged to conduct a thorough investigation. Ruin vanished from our residence not long after. Several days after she disappeared, the peacekeepers discovered an empty Zhevitz pharmacy label file in Ruin's room, and concluded that she's been smuggling P1 from the local pharmacy. Oh no! According to forensic experts, Ruin had enough P1 to kill around 10 adults. Damn! Days after the peacekeepers discovered the vials of P1, several Zhevitz Enterprise executives and business people from the Outer Pole who were considered highly valued clients were reported to have died from P1 poisoning. Upon learning of their compatriots' deaths, the client's company, based in the second sector of the Outer Pole, called for a cessation to talks between themselves and Zhevitz Enterprise. This was a severe setback for my father, who devoted 4 years to planning an expansion into the second sector. Finally, the very next day, following the mass poisoning, a cargo ship pulled into a seaport near Katia and unloaded the body of my little sister. We had an autopsy conducted the same day and discovered overwhelming amounts of colored mana, which had oversaturated and overtaken her body's purified mana production capabilities. The official cause of death was ruled as mana shock. Our inherent mana deficiency leads our bodies to treat natural mana as poison. Thus, any attempt to leave the Outer Pole for a locale rich with mana will result in a slow, agonizing death. Even Ruin would know this, which led me to believe that she couldn't have attempted to leave the continent willingly. The peacekeepers had little to go on for where Ruin was found at sea, the events leading up to her death, everything. They closed the matter and it's remained unresolved to this day. What was my little sister trying to do? Was someone out to kill her? At the time, all I had were questions with nobody around to answer them, until I observed the fallout of Ruin's death. Upon learning of her daughter's death, my mother's indomitable spirit finally broke and she sank into a deep depression. She refused to eat anything. 9 months later, my fragile mother, Eileen Zhevitz, passed away. Oh, I'm sorry about her. Since Ruin's death, my father had confined himself to his personal laboratory in Zhevitz Enterprise corporate building. My family, as I knew it, has been destroyed. Oh no. No. My family was destined for self-destruction. From the moment that Ruin was born into this world, I finally realized the truth. Ever since Ruin assaulted Marcus Crowley's, she had been biding her time and blinding us to her ultimate act of destruction. Ruin Zhevitz, the stigma of the Zhevitz family, wove a beautifully deceptive web of affections and promises for 6 years, and swatted it all away in one fell swoop, revealing the truth in all of its terrific splendor. In order to thoroughly and effectively destroy the family that loved their wild child daughter, despite all her shortcomings, Ruin Zhevitz committed suicide. Really? Why couldn't she accomplish the exact same task without killing herself? Because Ruin Zhevitz was death incarnate, and my dearly departed little sister. Wow, that was some intense flashback story.